guys, I'm here again in the kitchen making some candied pecans for Christmas gifts. I do this every year, and once again thought I would share while I'm making it. I've got my recipe here on my blog. I'm looking at it here on the computer right now. So I'm going to be making a large batch, but for this particular one I will do a single batch just to show you what I do. So I get the pecans of course at the grocery store. I had somebody comment the other day that they're from Georgia and they get to pick them from their tree and get them. I would love to be able to do that. These things are expensive, but I have to go to the store. So this calls for 1 pound of pecan halves, which is 2 8-ounce bags or 1 16-ounce bag. You might have seen on my Instagram stories yesterday that I got distracted and actually put walnuts in with my pecans. So this first batch will be pecans and walnuts, and I think it's still going to be delicious. So we'll see about that. So what we do first is I have 1 egg white, which I have just the packaged egg white since I use them a lot, which is, let me see, I wrote this down. It is 2 tablespoons if you're using it from like an egg beater's egg white. And then you just add a teaspoon of cold water. Mix that together. And you just want to make it just a little frothy. I saw somebody else's recipe recently and they actually beat it to peaks. This recipe you don't need to, so it's super easy. So I just have it so there's a little bubbles there, just so it's nice and mixed. And then all you do is you put in your 8 ounces of pecans, in this case pecans or walnuts, and just fold it together. And you want to coat the pecans very well because that's what's going to then bind the other ingredients together onto the pecans. Right now I have my oven preheating to 250. It is there already. And behind me I have 2 cookie sheets with parchment paper on it. The first time I made these, I just used like a spray on the cookie pan thinking that would work. Oh, I had to throw the pans out. It was horrible what happened. So then I tried tin foil. So that also stuck a little bit. So I do prefer parchment paper. All right, so these are coated fairly well. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take sugar, salt, and cinnamon. Oops, I have to scroll up here. So I have 1 1/4 cups of sugar. And I'm just going to put this in another bowl just so they're blended well. I have 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And then I have a teaspoon of salt. And you can, of course, add some of your own spices. You might want to do a little nutmeg. You might want to put a little cayenne pepper, whatever you desire. So let me just mix this up really quickly here, just so that we don't have a lump of cinnamon on one part of a pecan or not. And then once again, simply adding that into the bowl and fold them together until they're coated. This is another really easy, quick recipe to make. I think you've seen on my other ones like the pecan pie recipe, which I'll share right now above, and the apple pie recipe. Once again, I'll put a link here above and below. The only time-consuming thing with these is waiting. Let me see, I forget how many, it's like, yes, at least an hour to cook in the oven. So if you're making a large batch of these, you might want to start early because you have to have an hour, let them cool, and keep swapping them out. So these are really coated well, which is what you want. And I make a lot of these, one, because when I give them out as gifts, I'm usually snacking on them first, and I want to make sure I have enough to give out, and they go fast. They go really fast. So you know what here? It looks like this batch has a lot of sugar on it. I probably add more pecans than I have written here on my blog. Because a lot of times I modify things as I make them, but right now I'm not going to add the extra because I didn't coat them. So let's put this on the parchment paper. Get this out of the way. A little sugar here. I'm just going to grab one of these. Oops. Definitely my next batch, I'm gonna add more pecans. So I'm gonna leave some of the sugar at the base of this bowl. I'll probably even reuse it actually. So, you know the saying, a little goes a long way? Not with these. A little goes a little way. I stock up on pecans for this recipe. I'll throw a pack in my grocery cart, you know, each time I go, because once again, it adds up. Like, you know, these were on sale for $3.99 for an 8-ounce pack. I've seen them up to $6.99. All right, so I'm gonna just pop these in the oven. I'm gonna make, like I said, a couple more batches, but they're gonna go in, once again, for about an hour. And while I'm working on this, I also wanted to mention I have a pot of my Christmas potpourri on the stove right now. It is not one that I pre-package, which I give away for gifts, but it was last minute. I grabbed an orange. I have some cinnamon in here, apple. I put 2 pieces of clove. If you use a lot of clove, it gets very strong. And I even throw in a piece of pine tree. The Christmas smell in here is amazing right now, just from that little pot on the oven. So it's got me in the holiday spirit. And to make the recipe even better, you have to drink eggnog while you're making it. This is a must. The first 2 batches are in the oven and I'm waiting for them to bake. I usually would just keep things rolling, but I guess I got rid of the cookie sheet pans that I had before my move. I wanted to start with nice new things, and the 2 that I bought are already starting to look old, so I probably just should have kept the old ones. But I'm gonna start linking a lot of the products that I use in my videos below in the description. If you need something, I've been asked for products, so I'm gonna start linking them below with some of my affiliate sites. Like I just added the apple peeler because I got so many requests about the apple peeler I was using, and I did find it online, so that's being shown. And I will start linking, like I said, things like even the foods, the pecans and the cinnamon. You can get so much stuff online now. Online shopping, which was not the norm for me, is turning into the norm. I'm going to take these batches of pecans that I made, put them aside, and then once the batch comes out of the oven, what you do is you put the parchment paper on a cooling rack and let that get nice and cool. Then you can break it apart, and then I will put a new batch in with fresh parchment paper and just keep rotating them, you know, per hour. So I'll be doing this all day actually, and that's why I said if you've got other projects you can work on, or get some laundry done, or enjoy a cup of tea, it's a good time because you really can't leave the house while things are in the oven, right? So I will check back soon, and you will see what they look like when they come out of the oven. All right, so in front of me here I have some cooling racks already set out, and then I'll put them aside after, but I wanted to show you what I'm doing here. So just to let you know, I taste tested a walnut. It's good, but I definitely prefer just the candied pecan, so I'm glad I did the rest of the batch as such. But all you do is, let me see if I can do this without making a mess, because right now, of course, I'm trying to do it in front of people. Nope, I'm gonna make a mess. So how's that? Yeah, not good. But you can see they didn't stick. This could be another epic fail. And I think the reason that they fell apart like that is these didn't bind together as much as some other ones, because I did lessen the amount of sugar. So let's see. A little bit better. Here we go. There we go. All right. So I'm still a little messy there. So once these cool, what I'm going to be doing is putting them in cellophane bags for the gifts. So I have all different sizes here that I've got at the craft stores. These are pretty much too big unless you want to do a nice big amount to somebody that you love extra special. But since these tubes take so long, I go with the smaller bags. And for these, I'm going to be using what they're showing as a pretzel bag. They work out great. You'll see a picture. I'll put it above right now of some previous ones that I did. And they make a nice presentation. You can stick them out of a gift bag, in a basket. They really work well. So I like using this little bag. So I'm going to let these cool off. I'm going to get another batch in the oven, and then I'm going to put the package to the letter carrier into the mailbox before I miss her. I just wanted to get that. All right, remember I mentioned earlier about the big clumps of sugar that you might want to take off? I took out a piece to show you. So sometimes you will get a clump like this and it comes off really easily, but that's pure sugar. Now you can put it in the bag if you want, and it will usually get crushed up and just be at the bottom of their bag. But I like to just break them apart and have the single pieces so that when you put them in the gift bag, they're all, you know, individual. And I'm gonna put out a warning. I'm totally serious about this. If you make these and if you like pecans, they're addictive. It almost melts in your mouth. They're not chewy like a raw pecan is. So if you've never had these before, you gotta try them. And if you do try them, let me know what you think. Come back to this post, comment. I'd love to know what you think because they're one of my favorites to make and I can't keep them in a bowl when I put them out for the holidays.
Well, here they are, most of them at least. I ended up gift wrapping a lot of them in some larger bags. I'm actually heading off soon to the hair salon and I'm going to be bringing each of the stylists a little package of their own to enjoy at work or to take home. If you have any questions on this recipe, feel free to ask below or you can email me. If you have your own variation of this recipe, I would love to hear about it. I might give it a try. And if you haven't already subscribed, I would love you to do so. I am so thoroughly enjoying making videos and chatting with so many of you, and I'd love to just do more. Happy holidays, everyone.